Welcome back, Tiger fans, to Rockin' Radio's football podcast. I'm Nate Edwards. That's Nathan Hurst. This is Before the Box Score. Missouri just evaporated the Ragin Cajuns. They don't exist anymore. Just a one-sided fist fight caught on tape for 60 minutes. They won. We're happy. Nathan, how are you doing?
I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I'm glad I record in the basement because I wouldn't be allowed into the main floor of the house at this point. And I only stayed for the first half. So it was hot. It was very hot and very impressive how the Tigers seemed to handle that just fine. There was no seeming heat troubles at all, especially against a team that, was born in this heat down from Louisiana. And it seemed like the Tigers wearing black jerseys handled it much more than Louisiana did.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be born in the heat, but you also got to be good at football. And Missouri was
that helps.
Way better at football than Louisiana was. I don't even know where to start. It's just uncompetitive from the jump. Yeah. I cited. I was tweeting from the cool depths of my basement, by the way. So I'm going to rub that in. For as much crap as I gave Kirby Moore last year about his terrible opening offensive possessions, this is the third straight game that the Missouri offense started off with a touchdown in their first possession. And really it was all downhill from there. For all their possessions, Louisiana had two that did not end in a 3-and-out. Missouri went on a 17 play, 10 and a half minute drive to basically salt the game away. They had two 100-yard rushers. Ahmad Hardy was flirting with the single game rushing record. Bo Pribula had his worst game as a passer for his Mizzou career and still finished with a 68% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. You don't want to see the sacks. You don't want to see the explosive runs. But my God, what do we take away from this other than Mizzou is just so much better than Louisiana?
I mean, I think that was it. We talked about this on Wednesday. The Louisiana is a better team than losing by six touchdowns in this game. But the way that they are good is the way that Mizzou is also really good at stopping. In terms of defensively, Louisiana can't pass the ball. They finished 2 for 14 for 4 yards. Mizzou gave up 4 passing yards today, and I challenge you to find the last time they gave up only 4 passing yards. It has to have been pre-World War II.
I was going to say 1915, something like that.
Something like that. So that's crazy. They are a good rushing team. Mizzou's really good at stopping the run. Zion Young was an absolute destroyer. He destroyed their run game by himself, which you don't often see a defensive end destroying a run game. He did. And if he was in the game, he was making a tackle on the line of scrimmage on the run, on play after play after play. So Louisiana could not. The one thing that they can do, they were not allowed to do. And then the thing that Mizzou's really, really good at, running the ball out on the outside edges, Louisiana could not stop at all.
Nope.
Over and over and over and over again. And so those two things aligning equals this a massive blowout, and that's wonderful. I think Louisiana will be an okay team down the road once they get a few things figured out, from the quarterback. When they play less talented teams from a defensive end, I think their defense will be okay. It's not like they were leaving wide receivers running wide open down the field or anything like that. It's just that they could not handle Ahmad Hardy. They couldn't handle the offensive line, which looked much better from the run blocking perspective today. Not necessarily on a pass blocking perspective, but run blocking, they looked good. And so those two things together, it was over really early. And I'm glad because it was really hot. And I would be I'm already a little pink. I would have been much redder if I was going to have to stay there longer than I did. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's some pretty nasty sacks. Definitely some miscommunication there in the pass blocking. This game went into garbage time the second that the second half started. So from like an advanced analytics standpoint, nothing that happened in the second half is going to count towards Missouri's profile in SP Plus because they just dominated so hard in the first 30 minutes, and that's what you want. That's what you want from your body bag games, from your non-con, especially when you're going up against an FCS or a G5. So I mean, they treated Louisiana, which again won the Sun Belt West last year, won 10 games last year. They put them away in 30 minutes. Now, they don't have a quarterback, And I'm not. I mean, you said once they get into conference play, maybe they get. I don't know if they will. They're working with second and third string guys who are clearly not ready. So I don't. Maybe it gets better, but I do feel bad for them because you don't expect your awesome blue chipper quarterback to be lost for the season and the first game. But that them's the breaks, man. And Mizzou took no pity on them, and rightfully so. And really, other than that, just the bad angle on the one run, which went for 84 yards. It's 123, I think they finished with total. Doesn't matter.
That was 2/3 of their yards on one play, and they wouldn't have gotten the field goal if there wasn't the poor throw from Verbula. His the one bad throw he's made in 3 games. You're looking at a shutout. So 2 plays, and it's a shutout, and perhaps even a bigger than 52 points. Scored.
I mean, he had 2 bad throws. One of them wouldn't have counted.
They were back to back too.
So and that was right after a sack where he got smacked. So I don't know if he was just like, oh my god, my processing is a little off. We need to unplug the Verbula and then plug him back in. And they just didn't have time to do it. But there's really not much you can learn other than Missouri is ready for South Carolina. You're getting through you got through Central Arkansas and you got through, you got through Louisiana with no injuries. You beat your emotional rival in Kansas pretty handily. Like we talked about last game, 96% win percentage, even though it was close. Missouri was not losing that game. They were clearly the better team. They're doing better things. So you have shown that your running backs are terrifying. You have at least 2. Marquise Davis was scratching and clawing to be in the conversation for 3. And they're all pretty much interchangeable, He
had 100 yards, over 100 yards in garbage time.
He did.
So Ahmad Hardy, if he had not gotten taken out before garbage time, would have easily broken the single game rushing record. If you just take what the yards that Davis got, give those to Hardy. Once Hardy went out, it would have. He's looking at 360 yards. So props for Davis, 113 yards on 20 carries. He had 20 carries in the second half, which is amazing. Just to be in garbage time and still put up that with the second string line offensive line and still put up that kind of yards.
Yeah. How do just as an aside, I know Gary Pinkel was not big on breaking records against overmatched foes. He was a strong proponent in breaking records against teams that you're actually needed to break the record to win. I'm team do it whenever, but I also don't want my guys to get hurt. Where do you fall on that?
I mean, it just depends on what the game is. I'm not going to leave for a game like for a record like single game rushing record, let that be against a team where you need those yards to win the game, especially early in the season. It's not, that what does that get you? Ahmad's going to be here presumably for at least one more year. So we'll have plenty of other opportunities to get him lots of yards. And based on how he played today, he's going to have lots of other opportunities because that guy is an animal. But if it's against a team that's good and you just if you like rubbing it in on an SEC team, sure, maybe, but there's nothing going to be gained other than risking unnecessary injury, for a guy that already just put up absurd numbers to begin with. So
an absurd amount of heat too. Like you didn't want to have him cramp or hurt something, or not have him ready to go.
The reward there for now is way lower than the risk. Now, if it's you're looking at a career record, like SEC record, something like that, and you're at the end of the season and you're like, we just need to get him 10 more carries to try to get this. Okay, that's something different. But this early in what could be a very promising season, it's not worth it.
No. So your running backs are legit. Run blocking was great. I think there were. With the ones, I think there's 2 runs that I can think of that went for 0 or negative yardage. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen in the course of 70 runs on a day. I'm exaggerating slightly, but
they had 62 runs. You were close. There were 62.
There we go.
Rushes
I was close.
In the game.
I was close.
62, and I think the first half probably had 35 of those.
Something like that.
They ran a lot in the second half, but they were also running the clock all the way down to 0 every single time. So they just had fewer plays in the second half.
They did. Brett Brown came in, wasn't even on the team in the summer, or spring or summer, one of the two.
He wasn't on the team in August. When I was writing some preview, when I wrote the quarterback preview for Rock M Nation the week before the season started, he was not on the roster.
There you go.
The week before the season started. So that was Sam Horn just got hurt. We have 3 other people that can take a snap. Let's bring Mr. Brown back. Good on him. He came back and still ended up, I guess, 3rd string over Mr. Locke. So, good on him.
Yeah. And I think
I didn't even know he was on the roster now. I didn't even know he was on the roster. I saw him like, what? I could have sworn that guy left.
I knew he was because I look at the roster every day because I'm a weirdo.
Oh, you're a weirdo.
But this was a hey, thanks for coming back move.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah, and he got a carry for 5 yards. So there you go. Brett Brown will forever be logged in the Missouri football lore because he came back in a pinch when Sam Horn died a football death. So yeah, thank you, Brett. I'm struggling to find things. Like I said, this is mostly just Missouri's ready for South Carolina. And that's that's a 10-pole game for this season. We talked about Kansas. We talked about South Carolina. Alabama is going to be tough. Every road game is going to be tough. Okay. But you need to pass these tests, no matter how perception of ease they are. And Mizzou won handily without having to show a lot. A lot of those passes were just quick slants or the little quick hitters behind the line, which I love. I abuse those in the video game all the time, especially when you have someone as fast as Kevin Coleman. Nobody really took Bo took a nasty hit once. A couple dingers on Roberts there, but this is it. That you're getting ready for South Carolina to come to town, which is very important. This is a revenge spot. If you believe in that sort of thing, it's a rivalry game, which we all certainly believe in that, and we know Eli Drinkwitz does, especially when there's a trophy on the line. I think the biggest surprise for me was the defense, and I knew that the passing game for Louisiana was going to be bad. I knew that, but the fact that they were able to bottle up Bill Davis, they didn't bottle up that other kid Perry, but they got the other one, Blanco. They couldn't do anything, and that's a decent run game. So yeah, props to everybody on board. They didn't have to show anything out. I think they blitzed twice.
Jacobs got in for 1 sack on one of those, and there might have been one other that didn't necessarily get home, but they were pretty vanilla, just play base defense and stop the run, and because they knew that Louisiana was not going to throw it behind them. Yeah,
and they took some deep shots too, and I know Stephen Hall had a pass interference called on him once, but there was nothing given up. Dre Norwood was active, knocked away a couple passes. He had a good day shutting down his guy. And that's that Sampson kid. He's a blue chipper from LSU. That is not just some scrub. And they had terrible quarterbacks, but they shut him down. They shut him down completely. This is just one of those most thorough dominations that you can think of. They sat on the clock. They sat on the ball. They ran it for over 400 yards, held onto the ball forever. All 3 and outs except for that one time. What's the analysis other than Mizzou looked awesome?
It was we knew we expected Mizzou to control this game and dominate, but not necessarily, I don't think, to this extreme. I didn't expect Louisiana to do much offensively, which they didn't. I really didn't think Mizzou was going to put up 52 points. I think that's a very positive sign because I knew they would keep the ball. They'd be able to move the ball on the ground. They'd be able to control the clock. But to put up 400 yards on the ground, no. If you had told me 250 before the game, I said, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take 250. Mm-hmm. But 400, that was great. And that tells me that, after putting up 300 on the ground last week, close to 300 on the ground last week, that tells me that they're ready to run the ball against just about anybody at this point.
Shout out to Mizzou for moving the game. Shout out to the strength and conditioning team to keep these guys ready to play in situations like this. Shout out to March and Mizzou. Y'all were out there the entire time playing loud. Didn't have to wear a uniform. Man, I wish that was the rule back when we were in it.
Back when we had wool uniforms. They don't even have wool uniforms anymore. These pansies with polyester uniforms. Get out of here.
Here's the thing about wool. Here's the thing about wool. Does it keep you cool in the heat? No, it does not. Does it keep you warm in the cold? No, it does not. It just doesn't do anything except make you miserable. That's all.
Yeah. Whatever temperature it is, it's not the right temperature to wear a wool marching band uniform.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
hey, they were out there. Nobody else stayed the entire time. Hurst didn't stay the entire time. There's like 8 people in the stands.
It was hot. It was other than that was the second hottest Mizzou game that I've been to. The hottest being the Arkansas State game in Kansas City and Arrowhead to start the 05 season, where we were wearing said wool uniforms. That game was, and people were like passing out on the field. That would have been because, and I think that was mainly temperature wise because Arrowhead much taller, so there was no breeze. It was just dead air the whole time.
No breeze.
Just at least there was a little bit of a breeze.
The sun was right down where we were sitting.
Yeah.
It was the first time I remember Dr. Knight saying, okay, you can take your jackets off. I'm like, hallelujah.
Yeah. And that was in the second half after the halftime performance.
Yeah.
And then we marched home up hills both ways.
That's right.
On the way back. But
that's right.
This was the hottest game that in 20 years I've been to at Faroe for sure.
Were you at the 2015 season opener?
I should have been. Yeah, I'm sure I was.
That is the hottest game on record in Missouri history.
Okay. Was that?
It was 100 and it was like 110, I think.
That wasn't the UConn game, was it?
No. It was against SEMO. That's when we lost Russell Hansbrough and Evan Bain in the same game.
Okay, I'm remembering that game because it was a night game, but it was so humid that you felt like you were swimming and couldn't breathe. I do remember that game.
Yeah, we were on the top. It was the first year that the top concourse was open. And I was like, oh, what great seats those will be. No, not when the sun's just right on top.
In the evening, it's those, afternoon, evening. That was the one nice thing because those are my seats where I sit this year. And in the afternoon, it's horrible. The one nice thing about moving it up 3 hours is it was behind us, at least for the first quarter and a half. Then by the time the second quarter got closer to halftime, it got into your face, and then it was game over at that point. I was like, okay, we're done. We're packing up.
Yeah, 2015 was notable not only because it was terrible in Gary Pinkel's last year. It was the hottest Mizzou game on record, and it was also the coldest Mizzou home game on record when they played Tennessee because it was like -10 or something like that.
I remember that one. That one wasn't anything fun either. Man, that was not. That was a bad year. That is
the last time I bought season tickets. And the poor student worker who called me in 2016 was like, "Hey, Mr. Edwards, do you want to come back?" I'm like, "No, ma'am. No, I'm not buying tickets again." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Were you there?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hottest game on record?" "Yeah." "Coldest game on record?" "Give me a couple minutes." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it." He's doing his job. Yeah, we were 17 minutes into the show and talking about, remember when you sat in the bleachers? That's where this game
10 years ago. 10 years. Yeah. That's how challenging this game was for the Tigers. It was, it was clear from the start, from that first drive. Really, we'll say the second drive because they had to give the defense a chance to go 2, 3 and outs. But it was clear from the beginning that this was not going to be close. There were 3. I could count 3 plays I would wish that had gone differently, and that would be the turnover, the interception, the 84-yard run right up the middle, which. I'm not. I saw the replay on the jumbotron. I'm really not sure what happened there. I think a linebacker took a bad angle. I think a defensive tackle fell down.
It was stacked up well. Jalen Catalon got blocked, and I think somebody forgot to fit the gap.
That will happen. That's okay. That can happen when it's 52-10. They just need to make sure it doesn't happen anymore. Then the third would be they finally got Robert Meyer a nice look at a 41-yard field goal, and he kept it right. The ball never got from the hash mark over into the field goal. I mean, and 41, that's okay. They got him an opportunity. He's got it out of his system now, which is fine. I'm glad they got him out there. I just, for his own confidence, wish it had gone through the uprights. But I am glad that they got him out there and got that out there on, and got it out of his system, if you will.
I don't even care that he missed. Frankly, I just wanted to see what was going to happen, and the fact that it was a miss means that Eli Drinkwitz has to continue to assume field goals are not a viable option.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
certainly not a 40.
Field goals are not a reliable option.
Yeah. From the 25 and in, for the 20 and in, he's made all of his short ones, all his gimmies. So that's good that at least we know that it's not a complete, you have to go for it on fourth down no matter where you are on the field at all times. But I do think that it will hopefully keep Drinkwitz being aggressive. And we've seen here in the last 2 games, They've been aggressive. It's worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at specific numbers yet, and that's something I might do this coming week. That the success rate in between the 20 and the 30 with the ball when they have the ball has to be sky high compared to where it was last year. Now it's really where they had their biggest problem last year was once they got across the 30-yard line, 35 to 30-yard line, they just died. Something happened that they could not push back, because once then they got inside the 20, they were good again. But there was that, for whatever reason, that range they were really bad. And that has not been a problem this year. I don't know if it's play calling. Is it Bo Prabula executing better? Is it just being able to run the ball better? I don't know what it is. But at this point in the season, they've drastically improved from that at that part. And if they can continue that, then not being able to kick a 50-yard field goal is not going to be a problem long term.
I agree. And I'm not trying to say like, hey, never kick a field goal. I'm not as crazy to think that foot should never touch ball in football. Like, I understand that there's value in it, especially for, an Eli Drinkwitz team of any caliber that thrives in close games, which requires you to get points at all times. I'm just saying that I feel like and we've talked about this, but he has gotten really conservative and very skittish. Once they once they cross the 30, certainly once they get into scoring position, he's like, okay, well, it's got to be points. And I am cool with 3 points, even if it's not 7. And that's really, I feel like that's kept some games closer than they should have been. But also he's got that record in 1-score games. So who am I, to poke at that? But to your point, last year when Missouri was between the 21 and the 30-yard line, right on the opponent's side of the field, they had a 34% success rate, which was 124th in the entire country. Just as a quick reminder, how many college football teams are there?
132, 135, something like that.
Yeah. So bottom 10 and executing between the 21 and the 30-yard line. That was last year. That was with Brady Cook. That was with Luther Burden. That was with Theo Weiss. That was with Nate Noel. That was with everybody that you know from last year's squad, who was awesome. They could not do it. Could not do it. So, if you're thinking of it from is this any better? That is where you're starting from. You have to be thinking, okay, is it better than 30%, 32%, whatever I said? And I would guarantee you that it is. I haven't done the math myself, but I think that's a huge difference. Also, just big plays, big explosive plays. Yeah. You don't have to execute between the 21 and 30 if you're just running for a touchdown anyway, of which there have been way more explosive plays this year too. So that might be playing into it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you can just hand off to Ahmad Hardy and run 70 yards for a touchdown every time, then, that's going to make your life real easy as a play caller, as a decision maker in terms of when to kick. If you're not given the opportunity to kick a field goal because you're already dancing in the end zone, that's great. That sounds awesome. Let's keep up with that.
Look, football is easy when you choose to run the touchdown play. I've been saying this for years. No one listens to me, but that's fine. That's why I'm not paid to run the sport.
That's the X button on the PlayStation controller.
Mm-hmm.
It should be easy to find.
Offense great, defense great, special teams doesn't have to be great. Just needs to be competent. And that's where we're at. I really have nothing else to say. We're 23 minutes in.
I wish I got
any
to
part of
say
you.
I wish I got to say the name Lunch Winfield more often, but he only threw the ball 6 times and he had 1 completion for -1 yards. So it was brunch time. It was not quite lunchtime yet. Maybe later in the season it'll be lunch, but
no time for lunch.
Yeah.
Do you know why he's called Lunch Winfield?
I hope that's his Christian name. I hope his parents signed his birth certificate Lunch Winfield.
It's Dewanye, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's not nearly as cool.
The reason they called him Lunch was when he was like 7 months old. He crawled over to his grandpa's lap and then ate his grandpa's lunch.
Well, that's good. And they are holding it against him for the rest of his life.
Forever. So, Forever. I know. Don't make a mistake when you're 7 months old, or else it's your fault forever. Yeah. God. I'm just glad he's not poop your pants Winfield.
Yeah, we're not kidding.
That'd be even worse.
Yeah. Spit up your breakfast, Winfield.
Yeah. Projectile vomit Winfield, that's man. Okay. Poop the tub Winfield. All right, you know what? I'm getting weird. That guy, we got to stop.
I need to go hydrate. I need to take a shower so that I'm allowed back in the main level of my house.
There you go. See, for the people. What am I going to do? I'm going to work on this game. I'm going to chart it. I'm going to start getting my stuff together for Tuesday's Beyond the Box scores so we can look at just how dominant this was. Also might have an American beer. That might be on the
a single American beer is never a wrong choice.
Man, yeah. That's peak Nate. That's feisty Nate. You don't want more than one, but you definitely need one to get feisty. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in this time because that's the show for today. And as always, we appreciate the downloads and the subscriptions. You can leave a comment or rate us. We love all types of feedback from you all. You can follow us on Twitter at Matt Nate G. Edwards. He's at Burst to Hurst. Of course, you can follow the Rock M flagship at Rock M Nation and our podcasting outlet at Rock M Radio. Well, Ahmad Hardy scored again. Sorry. We appreciate you tuning in this time. We'll try to do better next time. And until then, M-I-Z.
Z-O-U.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Rock M Radio, a proud partner of Fans First Sports Network. Rock M Radio is the official podcast network of Rock M Plus, a new and exciting subscription service provided by me and the other voices of Rock M Radio. Please take a few moments to head over to rockm.plus and sign up for an account today. The cost is only $5 a month, and benefits include access to our live podcast, a subscriber-only message board, weekly newsletters, and more. If you enjoyed this episode of Rock M Radio and would like to see more just like it beamed directly into your personal device, make sure to click the subscribe button below and tell your friends. Our podcast feed is available through the Apple Podcast app for iPhone, Google Podcast app for Android, whatever app you listen to your podcast. You can also find Rock M Radio on Spotify. If you're looking for a podcast about your favorite team that is not Missouri Tigers, Fan First Sports Network is your answer. A full podcast network loaded with the team-specific podcasts covering Major League Baseball, the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLS, and more. And we'll be back with more episodes of Rock M Radio coming to you soon.